Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter. I am your host of Goldilocks Global Banking News, your number one source to receive the facts with proof for the RVGCR, where hundreds of countries and thousands of people are subscribed to this channel just like you, coming to receive the daily facts on the RVGCR with proof, vetted proof with links that will always be in the description, so that when you have a chance you can research and read this information for yourself and vet it, so that you have the power of the knowledge and not just someone telling you information or just giving it to you, but giving you the information that you can research it on your own. That is where your power comes from. God has given us all the spirit of discernment and the spirit of the ability to research information. Every last one of you who are waiting for the RVGCR to occur, you are actually waiting for your inheritance. You were born for this moment. Yesterday was history that was made. It was the transition from the old banking system into the new banking system because of the law that went into effect yesterday, October the 1st, for Basel III capital requirements for banks around the world, in the beginning of what's called SOFR, Secured Overnight Financing Rate for all banks. July the 1st, 2023 is when the process began. Yesterday, October the 1st, 2024, is when it became effective law for all banks around the world to be compliant. So that is the capital requirement, so that there will be no big banks that can fail. And then also for gold beginning the process in the banks around the world as of yesterday. The process is now on its way. It's not an overnight process, but as a result of yesterday, the train has left the station. I hope that each and every one of you are on board and ready. I had my morning discussions with Goldilocks, and there's some key information that I want to share with you that's very important for you to understand as we move forward in this process. Let's jump right into it. Hong Kong. Many of you may not realize, but Hong Kong is connected to Iraqi dinars. Hong Kong is connected to Vietnamese dong. Hong Kong is one of the largest trading countries in the world. They trade with over 140 countries to be exact. Hong Kong is now issuing digital bonds for the first time. This has never happened before. And folks, you've been hearing about these bonds that are going to finance the RVGCR. This is not those crackerjack bonds that you've been hearing about. These are real bonds. Bonds not only support the global markets, but they support the currencies used within them. Remember, digital assets are now backed by gold, and it is digital assets, ladies and gentlemen, that will back our paper currencies that make way for us to eventually exchange in the new quantum financial banking system. Now you're probably going to realize we have said several times that nothing happens until gold becomes a high liquidity asset and gold becomes revalued to its real price. Bonds offer investors a number of benefits that are connected to gold having a real price. Bonds can provide a regular source of income to investors, stability, diversification, and predictability and tax advantages. Yet bonds don't go without risk. One risk is default risk. This happens when the issuer of the bond does not pay back the principal. You must understand that a tokenized bond backed by gold provides collateral to the banking system. Bonds, real bonds, not the crackerjack bonds that have been talked about in dinar land, but real bonds will back gold, and gold will back our currencies. HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Bank of China, has actually issued the first digital bond ever in history. And many of the countries that are connected to it will do the same thing. We are witnessing the digitizing of the banking system throughout the world. Don't forget, Iraq officially announced that their banking system is digital as of March of this year. They are actually further ahead in their banking system than most people realize, because within the last 2 years, they made a strong concerted effort, like I said, within the last 2 years, since the prime minister became the prime minister. Iraq has made tremendous strides. And yes, they're connected to Hong Kong. Also, Goldilocks is sharing what happened yesterday with the strike for the ports. You may not realize, but the ports, and this is why Goldilocks is coining the phrase, watch the water. All currencies around the world, as countries do trade amongst each other through these ports, their currencies are affected. Yesterday was the first strike for the ports union since 1977. It could cost $5 billion a day to the economy. Strike disputes include pay, terminal automation project issues. White House officials hope for a short strike. We will remain to be seen. Companies involved include Walmart, Costco, APM Terminals, Maersk as well. A few months ago, Goldilocks talked about the strike that will possibly happen. Due to inflation and the continuation also of the war, price distortions affecting pay and prices on the water would force us into what's called credit valuation adjustments. What is that? That is the adjustment on the prices of currencies. 36 U.S. ports are currently affected. This will cause chaos in businesses all over the world. Higher shipping costs and prices for consumers are expected. If you have basic needs, it's important to get them as soon as possible. JP Morgan analyst has estimated the cost of this strike could be around $5 billion a day. For the workers, the fear of being replaced by automation is a real concern. Automation, ladies and gentlemen, will also make way into our banking system, and it already has. On the other side of the spectrum, related to this shipping port strike, automation is seen as necessary in today's economy. Balance is a key component in moving forward. The union has a lot of bargaining power due to the necessity of their jobs. These workers not only affect our shipping ports, but the trucker industry and railroad industry that carries these goods and services to our local businesses will experience disruptions as well. The recent hurricane also has caused an impact in the shipping market in the ports. Folks, this is an ongoing process we will be following, as it will affect stock market prices transitioning into our new economy. The big question is this strike a coincidence. The banking system, as of yesterday, the flip of the switch occurred globally. Was this strike that affects majority of the markets? Was this a perfect cover? Things that you should think about and understand and know that there are no coincidences that occur and happen in our global economy. This could have been avoided. Why wasn't it? We are witnessing, Goldilocks says, the in-game protocols for the old banking system making way for the new digital economy that we call the quantum financial system. There will be banking merger guidelines for those banks who cannot make the transition alone. Folks, this is why the Basel III capital requirements went into effect in law yesterday, because many banks couldn't meet the capital requirements in order to survive. That is why several banks that you may be aware of in your local communities have been bought over the last couple of years and swooped up by other banks that ultimately do meet the capital requirements. This is something, folks, that has been in preparation for the last couple of years. These banks knew what was going to happen on October the 1st. Some of them knew they weren't going to make the cut. The big banks have come in to take them on. The other side of this transition, of this shift and this reset that occurred yesterday, will be digital bonds, backed by gold, forming new asset correlations going forward in the new economy. A gold backing will give our bonds strength to move through the chaotic patterns we are about to face in the new economy. This, along with Basel III compliance, beginning yesterday in the large banks specifically, it is creating a bridge for us to enter into the new quantum financial system. No coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, of what happened yesterday. There were several new laws that went into effect yesterday, along with the FDIC new deposit requirements, specifically the $250,000 limits, along with the Basel III compliance for large banks, along with the currency exchange transaction regulations that went into law yesterday as well. Yesterday was a big shift. We shifted from the old into the new. It not only was a reset of the banking system to spearhead this shift, it was a reset spiritually within us all to get rid of the old to make way for the new. We hope that each and every one of you that are on this train into the new economy, we hope that each and every one of you that are on this train making the shift into our new spiritual reality to 5D, we hope that you are ready and prepared for the new beginning that we all shall witness and be a part of moving forward. Be kind, be well, be in love. Ultimately, unconditional love. Ciao. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. brought to you by Freedom Fighter.